City. Being able to watch someone like you on a big stage, knowing that you came from there, right? Because you guys won in the 85, and then we wound up winning this city championship in 86. Because we was inspired by you knocking off the bigger school, right? And y'all guys was the underdog. And that year, 86, we were the underdog. So my coach told us, if you want to think about and have some motivation, think about what Villanova did.
Ready? Yes. You have just stepped into the world of chaos, where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. 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 East Coast. Go hard. West Coast. Go hard. Midwest. Go hard. Dirty. Hurry up, everybody. Get online, buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
Welcome to Basketball Heads. I am your host, Glenn Pooh Harding, and we uptown in the Boogie Down Bronx, representing the Bronx Basketball Hall of Fame, their legends, New York City's greatest players. Let me tell y'all, the names that's being honored tonight, you want to make sure you stick around for the full episode. Stay tuned, because it's packed out here. Cars pulling up, people pulling up from all over. I even saw one of my heroes, Pinckney, out here. So y'all already know how I'm feeling right now. It's all the way up from this point on. Alright? Follow me. Check out the album. This is how you celebrate your legends. This is how you bring New York City together. It's a small portion of what we got to offer, but it's huge because we up in the Bronx. Y'all stay tuned. We got more for you. Glenn Pooh Harding, Basketball Heads. It's awesome, right? We good in New York City.
Who was you with? Oh, okay. You. Oh, you.
To the Bronx Basketball Hall of Fame, Basketball Heads. I'm your host, Glenn Cool Harding, and today we have Bronx legend Trent Tate.
Yes.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good, babe.
What does this night mean to you?
Oh, this night is a historical night. Ed Pinckney and I go back so long. We started playing ball together when I was 16, so that's been a while. And we've kept our friendship ongoing to the day. So I'm so excited for him. He deserves it. He did a lot for the Bronx. Brought home a championship in the NCAA, so you can't beat that.
I met him as soon as he came in, and I was just in awe because me being a youngster from New York, watching him on that big stage,
Yes, sir.
he encouraged us to go out and win the city championship the next year, just because they were underdogs and we were underdogs the next year.
Right.
So he meant so much to me in my career because what he represented, how he carried himself on and off the court, and what he done with himself after basketball.
Yes, and that's the most important thing.
Yes.
We go to school, of course, for an education. We play sport if we can, but if you can't, that education is the most important piece. So he parlayed that from being a champion, going to the NBA, into making a life out of his situation. So he's a coach, he's a mentor, and it goes much past the basketball court.
So let's talk a little bit about yourself.
Okay.
Where did you play high school ball at?
Stevenson High School, and I played 1 year. He played 3 years. Played with him in 81, and had a great time. Learned a lot. Had great coaches. I only played 1 year because I was maybe 5'1" in my junior year, and I grew 6-7 inches. So I was about 5'8", 5'9", and I said, give it a shot.
Wow.
Made the team, made all district that 1 year. Then went to Elmira College, and I still have records there. Averaged 21 points 2 years in a row. That record still hasn't been broken.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I went from there, and I played a little semi-pro. Played with the Westchester Stallions, Connecticut Skyhawks, Tiny Archibald was coaching me. I signed with Round Ball Basketball Entertainment. That's Don Cronson. He had Mark Jackson.
Yes, Don Cronson. I had him on the show.
Yeah.
He was the agent for Pearl Washington.
Yeah, Pearl,
Yeah.
Mark Jackson, and Anthony Mason.
Anthony Mason. Did he have someone Richardson as well?
Yeah, Sugar Ray.
Yeah.
So I signed with those guys. Went to the CBA. They didn't make the team, the Albany Patroons, but it was a great run. Nice situation. So played some pro ball with all these guys. So I know Mark, Ross Strickland, Mario Ellie, all those guys. If you say Trent Tate, they know who I am.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I want to get the full story one day. We can sit down and talk about the podcast, man.
We definitely do.
But right now we're talking about Bronx, right?
Yes.
And I see they got the banner with the different neighborhoods.
Yes.
What part of the Bronx did you come from?
Soundview. So we had Soundview, Castle Hill, Monroe. That's from Monroe. So we're close proximity, and we all played ball in the same hood. Went from one location to the next location, playing against each other, then with each other. So there's a lot of people I see that I haven't seen in 30, 40 years here that's from that area, and it's always great to see them because it was a situation where a lot of us didn't make it out the hood, but when those who do make it out and you see them again, it's always a great thing. Yeah.
Oh man, this is awesome, man.
Yes.
I appreciate this, man, and hopefully we get the full story and we can talk about, your jump from playing 1 year high school basketball to going and breaking all those records.
Yes.
In college.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
All right?
Okay.
Appreciate you. Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
Yes.
All right.
We here with legendary Gaucho coach, Dave McCullough. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Man, it's awesome seeing you after all these years, man.
Yes.
I had Ross Strickland on the show, and he said when you joined the Gauchos, you wanted to bring your young guys with you.
Well, Lou was doing his thing with Machito and Cesar, the older guys, 19 and under. I was in Mitchell Gym doing my little thing with the Mitchell Bullets, and he had saw me coaching a couple of games before they played, and he had asked me to come coach for them. And I told him I really wasn't interested in coaching guys that were pretty much my age.
Okay.
I said, I'm trying to keep these kids out of trouble. But then as time went by and I got to know Lou, it turns out our philosophies were pretty similar. A, we was trying to keep kids out of trouble. 2, we was trying to push them academically. And 3, and there was something Lou could do that I couldn't do because and there were things I could do he couldn't do. It just made a perfect marriage in that we complemented each other. I did the programming. I mentored the kids on a daily basis. I did the training, the coaching. Lou had the connections and the resources and the concept of bringing private sector money, people that really trusted him, which allowed us to get fundings in ways that other people couldn't. And it was a perfect marriage because then Lou also added a great concept of, one, I wanted to open up the world to these young men. Most of them have never left the Bronx or Manhattan or Brooklyn. So we traveled. And I learned from Lou that one of the greatest tools and one of the greatest educational tools in life is travel, which a lot of people don't have the resources to do. So when you speak to players that played with the Gauchos, that's one of the things they talk about. That we went to here, we went there, and what it did was it prepared them for a bigger world other than the South Bronx, other than Harlem, other than Bed-Stuy, Queens, and they saw that there was other possibilities out there. And then one of the things I did to back up that concept was when you're getting recruited by school, and as we travel, we're trying to open up the possibility that if you go to a school in Ohio, or you go to a school like Marquette in Wisconsin, could you live there? Could you raise a family there? And the reason why that's important is because that's where you make your reputation.
That's right.
And a lot of young men make the mistake of playing out of New York, and then when they get their degree and they come back, they don't have the same connections that they would have had if they had stayed in North Carolina, or if they had stayed in California, which is where they acquired their reputation to go with the connections because they're alumni there. Yeah. So Lou and I getting together was a perfect marriage. So now you have biddies, midgets, juniors, seniors, you have a farm system, and we have a concept that is still lasting today, even though we're both retired.
And it means a lot for you that Lou's being recognized because he's done so much for so many kids.
Absolutely.
In New York City. Definitely a legend and definitely needs to be recognized.
Absolutely. I would not have missed this for the world.
What does it mean to you to be here, representing him, and being able to speak on his behalf?
It's like the culmination of a journey. Lou is now 93, and I'm getting ready to turn 70. And the fact that God has blessed us that we still are here, and our kids, we call them our kids, we call them our sons, are here to see him go into the Bronx Basketball Hall of Fame, and to honor him is a blessing from God.
What does the Bronx Basketball Hall of Fame mean in New York City?
It's something that was, and I give Derek Dow all the praise and credit in the world. I was on the original board when they first started putting it together, so I understood some of the concept and some of the struggles they went to get here. And it's something that's long overdue because the Bronx has a special flavor that's different from Manhattan, that's different from Brooklyn. Everybody has their different flavor. You know, we are one city, and it's just a fantastic thing that he's reaching out to so many different areas, which is very difficult to do. But the Bronx has a great, rich basketball history, and this is only going to grow.
I appreciate you, man. I'm glad we got a chance to speak.
Absolutely, my brother.
God bless you,
Absolutely.
brother.
Take care.
All right, take care.
All right.
And we're going to do that full show soon.
You got my number. Call me.
Right, definitely.
All right.
All right. Welcome back. We're here with legendary coach Ron Brown. How you doing?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be here. And thanks for having me on here tonight.
Man, this is such a wonderful event, and the people that's being honored tonight, this is great. What does the Bronx Basketball Hall of Fame mean to you?
It means it shows that people who have made an impression and an impact on young people's life are getting recognized for it. Although a lot of people do that, they don't do it for the recognition. They just do it because it's the right thing to do.
What part of the Bronx are you from?
I grew up in the Bronx River Projects, and I moved up to the Northeast Bronx, up near Co-op City, the Valley.
Let's talk about a brief history of your career so people can understand who I'm sitting here talking to, because, you know, the Bronx has produced a lot of great players, a lot of great coaches, directors, you name it, referee officials, the whole gambit.
Right.
Give people a brief history about your career.
Like I said, I started like most of the other guys coaching summer league basketball. From there, I had a pretty good success. And Ted Jones, who coached the Coachman AAU program, he gave me my start at Pratt. And from then I've been blessed, I've been lucky, I've been good, and I almost had 30 years in coaching. I went from Ted Jones to West Virginia. I was a head coach at Florida A&M with a couple of guys from New York who we had Felipe Lopez, not Felipe, Scientific Map, who played with Felipe Lopez.
Yes.
And I had Big Jerome James, I played for the Knicks. But like I tell people, basketball, I coached the game of basketball, but I taught the game of life. And that was more important. The life lessons that we can teach these young kids through basketball last them a lifetime. So it's not just about scoring 2 points. It's about getting your degree, becoming a better person, and then passing on to somebody else when you get a chance. But I had an extensive coaching career, and I've been blessed. The good Lord, I've been lucky. And I guess you got to be good for doing almost 30 years.
And you were the first black coach at West Virginia?
First black coach in West Virginia history. And,
wow.
And that meant a lot for me, but it meant a lot for black coaches that's coming after me. My dad said, if you do a good thing, the doors stay open. If you kind of mess it up, it could close and it could be the last one. But you don't change a good thing, my dad said. You change it where you do it.
And I see you pointing at the gentleman over here, another Bronx legend.
Joey DeSantis, yes, one of the greats. St. Valentine High School, Fairfield. Played in the pros with the Washington Bullets for a short stint, but he made a life commitment of giving back to basketball. That's what I try to do. It's not just about winning and loss. I tell people, if I'm your winningest coach at the school that I was at, I didn't do my job. I'm here to help young men become better young men through education and through sports.
Why is the Bronx Basketball Hall of Fame important for the Bronx?
It gives recognition. Just like New York City, in college coaching in the past, everybody wanted somebody from New York that could play. They wanted somebody.
That's right.
And then Bronx is just one of the 5 boroughs, and we had some great players: Tiny Archibald, Tom Henderson, Rod Strickland, Robbie Hagan, Ed Pinckney. I can go on and on. There are a lot of guys who can play didn't make the league either. So let's keep that in mind.
Gotcha. Well, hopefully we can get you on the podcast podcast and talk respectfully about your career and all the people you coach throughout the years.
Oh yeah, but like I said, it's not about me getting some recognition. It's just about us trying to help the next generation to get through the doors of life that we've been through. I've been blessed with parents that taught me right from wrong, and I'm trying to teach today's student athletes right from wrong. My son played for me. He got treated just like everybody else.
That's right.
And I tell all the parents, I'm going to treat your son like I treat my son. Now, that's good and bad. You might get a call and say, Coach Brown said a couple words that wasn't appropriate at the time, but it went through. But no, it's just a blessing to be here, and I'm here to be here with so many other great Bronxites who have contributed to the lives of youngsters through basketball. Like I said, I coach basketball, but I taught the game of life.
Hey, could have said it better myself. Appreciate you, Coach.
Hey, thank you. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We here with another Bronx legend, Joey DeSantis, as we like to call him, Joey D. How you
Good
doing?
stuff, man. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Man, what part of the Bronx are you from?
Well, I went to Talentine High School, so I grew up right around the corner. Fordham Road, University
No
Heights.
way.
Yeah. Matter of fact, we used to have class at 8:30. I'd get up at 8:15, hop over the fence in the backyard, and I'd be at the school.
Wow. So you had a lot of access to the gym there.
Oh, yeah. But, we didn't, back in the day, we were in the park. The Vote Park was a big part of my life. And then, I was fortunate to play 2 years with Riverside Church. We won a national AAU tournament. So I was just telling someone at the table, no disrespect, these kids now, they're traveling all over the country. We didn't have to do that.
Tell them.
You know what I'm saying? We hunt 38th Street, Willis Avenue, the GOAT. I played in these places. I was like a little intimidated at first, but, I had good players. Reggie Carter, Wayne McCoy, Anthony Pro, all these guys around me. So when I got done playing for Riverside, I was ready to go on the next level to play at Fairfield. But the Bronx is always in my heart, man. Bronx and that's why I've been here every year at this dinner.
Man, what does the Bronx Hall of Fame mean to you?
Well, first of all, it's good to come back and see faces that maybe you haven't seen in a long time. Like Ron Brown, him and I coached for many years. I was an assistant for 25 years. I was a head coach. I was assistant for 15 years, head coach, Division I at Quinnipiac University for 11. So I used to see Ron a lot recruiting, but just to come back and see the togetherness, guys you haven't seen in a long time. Everybody my age now is a little heavier, lost some hair, walks with a limp, but we're the same as we were back in the day.
You talked about kids playing in the park, right?
Right.
And the AAU circuit, where kids travel all over, play thousands of games throughout the summer. How was New York basketball back when you came up that made it so effective to where kids didn't have to leave the city as much?
Well, you have to remember, and I'm aware of all this because, like I said, I coached. A lot of the New York kids now are not even finishing high school in the city. They're going on to prep schools. They're going to reclassify. Back then, we didn't do that. We played for our high school team. We played AAU with our team. And so all the good players stayed home. And if you wanted, you could find a game, jump on a subway. I lived on the 4 train, jump on a subway, go to Yankee Stadium, play there. But like I said, once the spring hit with Riverside, I was busy every weekend. So the bottom line is, all the good players from New York stayed in New York, and you got a chance to run against players your age, players younger, players older, and it's a big reason why I am where I am, if you will.
Man, so listen, hopefully we can get you on a podcast and really dig into your career and really talk about, all the guys that you played against and all the guys you faced throughout the year.
Hey, anytime, just get a hold of me. And the thing also that I like about being here is not just the guys that I played with and against, a lot of kids that I tried to recruit, or maybe I coached. Felipe Lopez, I coached a year at St. John's. I was an assistant. Of course, I knew Eddie Pinckney when he was coming up.
Yes.
I recruited Stevenson High School pretty much, just to run into guys that you either recruited and coached or guys that you recruited. You know, back in the day, you went in and you recruited a kid, you sit down with his family and, you know, you sold the family thing. And now it's not like that. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's just different. So,
it's about the NIL deals, right?
Yeah, we don't, I broadcast now, so I do Fairfield games, I do Sacred Heart, and I don't even bring that up because it's, you know, back in the day, we chased the game, right? We chased it to be good, the competition. We chased the school because we wanted to get an education. You know, shoot, my father came over when he was 20 years old, was a tailor. You know, worked down in Manhattan every day, got on the subway. On Saturdays, he worked at the local dry cleaning on Fordham Road. My mother was a superintendent of a building. You know, I had nothing. For me to get a college scholarship, come on. So now, and I'm not saying it's wrong, they're not chasing, the kids today aren't chasing the school necessarily to play, they're chasing the money.
The bag.
That kind of takes, you know, it definitely takes the old school out of it. I'm 67 now, you know, so, but it is what it is. I don't fault the kids, man. It is what it is. That's what they have to do, but it's just great to be here and see what Bronx basketball, young and old, is all about.
All right, last question before we get you out of here.
Yes, sir.
How important was the pickup games back then?
Oh, forget it. Like I said, so I lived on Loring Place, right? I lived on the top of the hill. So I'd walk down, there's DeVoe Park, and there'd be guys playing morning, noon, and night, you know? Snowing, don't matter, shovel of snow. Just the fact that you were able to play helped you when you got to organize ball, because it helped you deal with different situations. You know, the old guys would come in and they try and knock you on your butt. The young guys would, so that's how you got better.
And it was the rite of passage, because you had to earn the opportunity to get on the court, then you had to kind of stay on the court, right? And then when you was elite, if you lost and somebody picked you back up, right?
You were pissed that you lost, but you learned from it. You know, back in the day, the Chuck Taylors, you know, I used to put cardboard in my sneakers.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know, John's Bargain Store, we used to go Fordham Road and buy cheap sneakers. Hey, the bottom line is that, and I mentioned my parents, and no slight to them, they weren't that well off, but they were good parents, and they taught me how to respect people. You know what I'm saying? So, always, whether you're playing or coaching or in life, you try and rip your competition's head off, but the bottom line, you got to show respect, and that's what sports did for me. That's what basketball. And you know, it's funny. Like, you go to Yankee Stadium, you'll see me there. Like, basketball has been my life, but baseball is my heart.
Gotcha.
And all that's from the streets. You know, stickball, softball. You know, we did it all. We did it all to survive. We did it to compete. And you know, back in the day, we'd go to Yankee Stadium when I'm 10 years old, you know, with friends. Now, a little different. Life's a little different. But it's good to be here with you, that's for sure.
Listen, I'm glad we got a chance to talk.
Good, thank you.
All right, Joey D.
All right, cool, thank you.
Care. Joey DeSantis, we out. All right, we're here with Chris Greene, older brother, younger brother to Artie Greene.
Younger brother.
Younger brother.
Younger brother. But there's two Artie Greenes.
Okay.
One is a Taft, and the Artie Greene from Mars High School.
Mars High School?
Yes, that's the older Artie Greene. Guys jumping Artie Greene. The one that court is on top of the backboard, Artie Greene.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
So you got some of that jump ability as well?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
What part of the Bronx are you from?
I'm from Patterson Projects, where Tiny Archibald grew up. The Dowers grew up. Mike Eggers grew up. Patterson, great history in the South Bronx.
Wow, man.
Great history.
Tell me about the pickup games out there, man.
Oh, man, pickup game. Oh, Angel Cruz, another one from Patterson, who's being elected tonight in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Pickup games was amazing. Out there 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night. Packed. If you lose, you might have to wait 5 games.
It's like go home.
Right. Go home. You go home and have lunch and come back.
Right.
Everybody wanted to come to Patterson and play.
Wow.
Great place to play, great place to practice, great place to grow up at.
What does the Bronx Basketball Hall of Fame mean to you?
Oh man, it's history. It's history, especially with Derek bringing it up. Derek is one of my big brothers from Patterson. My building was in front of his. My mother, his mother's best friend. My brothers and his brothers are best friends. It's amazing to see the knowledge of that the Bronx basketball is getting today. I appreciate it.
Talk about some of the guys that you came up playing with.
Oh my gosh. Like before, I played with Riverside Church 7 years under Eggman, you know, and Mr. Lodge. We're undefeated. We never lost any games in my career. I hate to say, even the Gauchos, we beat them up all the time. I saw Coach Day tonight, and we had a couple of stories that said, and Riverside Church kept me out of trouble. It kept me out of trouble. If it wasn't for Riverside Church, I might have been in trouble. You know, so basketball and growing up in Patterson taught me very well. I grew up with my two good friends, Walter Berry. A lot of stories with him. Hopefully we're going to get him in the Hall of Fame soon.
Yes.
Big Bobby Jones from Brandon High School.
Yes.
Derek Robinson from Ben Franklin.
Wow.
It's a lot of history going up in Patterson where we grew up in the South Bronx.
So you told me about this story about Kenny Smith.
Yes. Met Kenny Smith, Riverside Church. Him and I played together for 7 years. Last year he mentioned that TNT with Charles Barkley and Shaq and everybody that he said mentioned a guy named Chris Greene, 5'11" from Iona College, where I played basketball with Steve Burt, Gary Springer, Tony Hargreaves, Rory Grimes. It's a Riverside Church history over there at Iona College.
Right.
He said if I'd have grew to 6'4", I would have been in the league. That's a clip.
And that was your backcourt partner?
That was my backcourt partner, him and I. Yes. Many battles together in practice. Many stories of him and I in dunk contests. I'm 5'11", but I'm part of the Greene family and I'm high jumping. A lot of guys can verify that. A lot of guys in this house today got dunked on. You know, yes. A lot of guys tell you that story.
Down on them like.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Well, listen,
yes,
man, I would love to invite you on the podcast, man, so we get the full story about your career.
Absolutely.
And what you're doing now, man.
Absolutely.
But, this is a beautiful night, man. I'm glad you got a chance to sit down with me.
Appreciate it.
All right?
Thank you, brother.
My man.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate
yes, sir.
you.
Thank you.
All right.
One of the great things about EEP law is in our community partnerships, the relationships that we build with people who really care about our community, with people who hold high value in giving back, with people who are pillars in their community. Being said, EEP Law is a proud sponsor of Basketball Heads Podcast, the #1 basketball podcast in New York City.
We're here with BeVaughn Robinson, one of Bronx finest.
Yes.
And as you say, legend?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. What part of Bronx are you from?
I grew up right here in Parkchester. Watson Avenue guy, Parkchester. I went to Rice High School. And it's funny, I'll tell you a quick story. I grew up maybe about 5 minutes away from St. Raymond's, and they never came to see me play. And as a kid in junior high school, you're doing your thing, and you're like, you want to go to kind of one of the best schools, and they never came to see me play. And somehow I ended up at Rice, and I think that was like the best thing that could have happened for me, just from a personal development standpoint, from a basketball perspective. We became one of the best schools, not only in New York City but across the country, and to win a city championship at Rice, it was a beautiful thing. It meant a lot to me.
Rice produced some legendary ball players, man. I'm sad to see it close, man, but it's guys like you that keep the history alive.
Well, it was, I would say it's probably the biggest brotherhood. It's a lot of other schools and universities that could probably argue with that, but the number of guys that came out of that school, the number of guys that I played with during that time, it was unbelievable, And not only was it a great basketball school, but academically, I think that's something that needs to be said a lot more, where you were producing a lot of young black men that were going on to college, and it's kind of hard to see that in today's game, where you're producing every year a certain level of kids that are going to these universities, and not only where they were selling, guys that got an opportunity to go play pro, represent the school in a positive light, and not just through sports, entrepreneurial. We had guys that went on to act and stuff like that. So, it was a beautiful school, and it truly was sad. I wish we could have came together and maybe kept it open, because I think a school like that is probably needed now, with a lot of our young black kids not really having the right opportunity or place, to be at. So.
What college did you attend?
I ended up at Fordham University. I really wanted the academic challenge. A lot of guys, say I could have went to St. John's or any of the schools in the metro area, but to go to Fordham and the people that I met there, where I really felt like all the schools that were recruiting me, that was the school that I felt the most love, like as a family. I still have great friends that are still there, and just the people that I met over the years, it was the best choice for me. I love the challenge that it presented in terms of academic and not letting me slack off. And just being able to stay close to home and family, and have my parents and close friends be able to attend my games was wonderful. I really enjoyed that.
What does tonight mean to you, the Bronx Basketball Hall of Fame in its whole entirety?
It's a great event. I was just telling a couple of people inside that, just to be able to see referees that ref me when I was like 13 years old, or a coach that coached me when I was younger, like Julius Allen. That was one of like my first coaches, first guy that would train me and stuff like that. And that's what I think about the Bronx. We've always held, whoever was to come out of here, it didn't matter what school you went to, we always had love for each other, because we just was just so proud of all the guys that have come before us or came after us. So to be in an event like this, to be around so many great basketball players and just people in general, it's rewarding. I think the first one I came to was about 4 years ago, and I could see the size. It's grown so much,
a lot, right?
And I think it's going to continue to grow. And it's just, I think it's a great opportunity to also shine a light on some of the people that maybe have been forgotten a little bit, but we as guys that are in the basketball world, we still know about them. But to see them get their flowers, it's wonderful. I went to school with Felipe Lopez, and Ed Pinckney was a guy that would come around, Stevenson. We knew about these guys. So to see them get to this point, and even Mr. Gallagher, I played against Mr. Gallagher when I was like 15 years old. He was still playing, and to be able to be connected to Scanlon High School and understand his legacy, what he left, and to see him, being honored, it's a truly rewarding feeling to see these guys get their flowers.
Well, BeVaughn, man, I appreciate you coming to holler at me, man.
I appreciate you having me. We need more stuff like this. We need more people to be able to shine a light on how many great basketball the Bronx had. I would say it probably produced some of the best, the city had to offer. It's good to argue about Queens and all those, but there's some great guys that played in the Bronx.
Can't forget Brooklyn.
Yeah. The dogs are out there. Bless, man. All right, nice.
Hopefully, exchange numbers.
I'll
get
definitely.
in contact with Julius and get you on the podcast.
I would love to, man.
All right.
Appreciate you.
My brother.
All right, thank you. Bless.
Yes. We here with my guy, my brother, New York City legend, Billy Singleton. What's up, brother?
How you doing, Glenn? Good to see you, man.
Man, good to see you, man. I ain't seen you in so long, man.
Yes, it's been a long time, and I'm hearing great things about your show. You're looking wonderful, so I'm glad to be here, man.
Nah, man, let me tell you something, man. You've always been a one-on-one, right? When we talk about some of the best big men in New York City, one of the guys that was dominant, both in high school and college, and then went on after college and did some great things and still doing great things in the basketball world. And I want to say we're proud of you, man.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you, Glenn. It's an honor. I would be remiss if I didn't pay homage to my teammates and my coaches. Growing up in New York City, as you know, there's so much competition, so many really good players, but having great coaches and great teammates, that's kind of what made Billy Singleton. I could take this much of the credit, but you know, the real credit belongs to my coaches. They did a wonderful job.
He's been very modest, Jeremy. I'm gonna tell you, my guy was a beast. You hear when we talk about Bronx basketball, he was the guy, man. What does the Bronx Basketball Hall of Fame mean to you, brother?
Well, I believe it's an honorary thing they do every year, and I just think all the people that are being inducted, it's a great honor to be recognized for all the accomplishments and hard work that they did over the years, all the nominees and people that are being inducted. I just think it's a wonderful thing. A lot of times in life, you may not get the recognition or the accolades that maybe the world thinks you should or should not have, but coming back to the Bronx and being recognized by your peers, people who have known you for many years, and they recognize the work you've done, I think it's a great honor and a wonderful thing that they do here.
No doubt, no doubt. What part of the Bronx are you from?
I'm from a place called Castle Hill.
We definitely know about that. Come on, man.
Yeah, it's northeast Bronx. I'm from Castle Hill, but I spent most of my youth about a mile away with my grandparents in Monroe Projects also.
Yeah.
They were about a mile away. So, you know, I'm from two parts really. I got a lot of friends in both.
What was like the pickup games like coming up as a youngster, you know, before you hit it like in high school and to the big time?
That's a funny thing. I was talking to my good buddy. I don't know if you remember Darryl Reed.
Yes.
Okay, Darryl Reed.
Darryl Reed.
Darryl Reed, D. Reed.
Facts.
Respect, Ray. But we were talking the other day, and my uncle, you know, is Ed, and his older brother, they played together in high school. And we always used to play on the side courts. And we kept saying, one day we're going to get on the big courts because the runs were so incredible. And these was neighborhood guys, people that were in college. There was a lot of great basketball players. I'm looking at one, Julius Allen. He was from the neighborhood, and, you know, just so much competition and really good players. So when we finally got to the big court, we were probably in 8th grade. And that turned out to be pretty good because you learn from the older guys in the neighborhood. And then, you know, then Fred Brown that played at Georgetown, my uncle. There were so many great players that came from the neighborhood. You know, Pat Jones, you know my boy Pat Jones, another great player from the neighborhood. So the runs were incredible. And that's really how you got to learn how to play, being in the park, in the neighborhood, playing with the older guys, and playing with other peers that were really good. So I think the runs were incredible. That's how I learned how to play.
Let's talk about Ed, man. Like, I've been mentioning him almost 4 or 5 times tonight.
Yes.
To see him, this is my first time ever meeting him in person.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Okay.
Every time I saw him, it was on television, and the fact that he was from New York City, playing on the biggest stage in college basketball, and knocked down one of the biggest giants in basketball history. I'll never forget that moment because we were so proud all over the city. And a young kid like me in Brooklyn, he was a big part of my basketball upbringing, man.
Yes.
What does it mean to you to see, you know, him getting honored tonight?
Yeah, I mean, for Eddie, you know, being my uncle, it's really sweet to see him getting recognized for his all his hard work and his kind of a lifetime achievement for basketball. But if those who know Eddie, he's a person that always said, you know what, I'm shooting for the top. So we used to talk about Patrick Ewing as a kid. Well, when I was a kid, he was like, man, you know, that Patrick Ewing's incredible, man. He said, but yo, I ain't scared to play against nobody. So, you know, when he got to college, it was just like he had some of his best games against Georgetown. And he always had Patrick Ewing on the radar. Although I know him and Patrick are great friends, but they were fierce competitors. And shout out to Patrick Ewing, man, the Godfather, best player in the Big East ever. Love you, Pat. But, you know, Eddie always had Patrick Ewing and all the other great players on his radar. So, lo and behold, he played in the Big East, played against him very often. But when Eddie got to that championship game, I had no doubt in my mind that, one, I knew he was going to perform well. And I knew that Villanova could probably win the game because they played them twice very close that year. So, me as a kid, getting to see that was great. So similar to you, New York City kid, but it just happened to be.
Yo, you had the cheat sheet, fam. I didn't have an uncle that was so great. Like, you definitely had the cheat code, man.
Yeah.
No doubt, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, he was, great uncle, great person. Just growing up, he was kind of everything to a lot of people. But we lived in the same house for many years, and just an incredible person. Forget the basketball, but an amazing person. A real leader of men, a real leader in the community, somebody who cares about people, and you can just tell by his demeanor, the way he goes about his daily life, that he really cares about people.
Well, we can sit here and talk for hours, man, but I'm going to wait till you come on the podcast because we really going to get in depth. You see how soft-spoken this guy is? You see how eloquent he speaks? Get on that court, man, he will tear you from limb to limb. All right? Man, Billy Singleton, man.
Thank you, man.
Good seeing
Appreciate you. Thank you, man. And best of luck with your show. You're doing amazing things, and you're bringing a lot of things from New York City basketball to life. So continued success.
I appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
All right. No doubt. Hey, man, this man don't need any introduction. Y'all seen him on Basketball Heads. He's a friend to the show. His family. So just go ahead and
Oh, man, it's always a pleasure, man.
Man, you always put on, man. No matter if you come
I'm trying to keep up with you.
You come to visit me and BeVaughn, and you're always chilling, man. You're always chilling. Man,
oh, man.
What does this night mean to you, brother?
Oh, it was always a special night. I grew up in the Bronx. So when you talk about the Bronx, you're talking about guys the older guys that I looked up to, then the guys that was along with me, then the guys that came, after me. So it was a pleasure. It's an honor to be in the room with a lot of these guys, man. I'm just happy, and humbled.
You came up playing playgrounds, schools, college, like you played all over against guys who was in the NBA. You faced them all. Some familiar faces you see here tonight.
Well,
what kind of memories does that bring back to you?
I mean, just when you talk about Angel Cruz, Machito, he's not here, but the memory of him, Ed Pinckney, who Ed was behind me a couple years, but he was at Stevenson High School in the Bronx along with my namesake, the other Fred Brown.
Yes.
So we didn't call him Fred Brown, we called him Wiki. I was the one they called Fred Brown, but we called him Wiki. But Julius, I mean, it's so many people. Dudley Biggs, who people might not remember, was Columbus standout, could have went to any school in the country, ended up going to, I think, City College or something like that, and they did some special things while he was there, and his life took a different turn, but it's a lot of folks, man, that bring back a lot of good memories.
Did you ever play him against him and let him know that you was the original Fred Brown?
I'm gonna tell you a story, right?
Okay.
Both of us played with Trio Crusaders, a guy named Reverend Burkett, which is when we was 13 and 14.
On the same team?
Same team. It was Fred Brown, myself, Fred Brown, Rodney McCray, Scooter McCray, Ronnie Ryan, Glenn McMillan, another guy by the name of Mike Daniels who went to Rice, if he would have came back home or if he'd have went to a big school, he ended up going, I think, Texas A&I.
Gotcha.
But he was a beast, man. But on that team there, I didn't know Fred's name was Fred Brown until we had a game in our first tournament. And they was asking us the number on our shirts.
Wow.
And they would say, what's your number? And I'm like, I signed in the book already. And they said, no, you number whatever. I said, no, my number 15. And then Mike Daniel said, no, that's Wiki, man, the other Fred Brown.
And y'all hear me call him Disco, right? Because, hey, listen, when you get a name like that from the streets of New York City, it kind of sticks with you. Tell the people, man, where that name came from, man.
It's funny, but I think Duke and Al gave me that name. It's funny because when I first started playing, because I grew up in the Bronx and was coming to Harlem, they was calling me Downtown. So that name stuck. It still sticks to this day somewhat. And it's crazy because there was another Downtown, Freddie Brown.
I'm trying to say like this.
As I got older, when they started saying, okay, he's a pro prospect, you got to stop calling him that. So they started trying to call me Uptown. Some people still call me that, but it didn't stick. People still call me Downtown to this day.
So Downtown sticks more than Disco?
Disco for New York. But when I go around anywhere else in the country, a lot of people still say Downtown. A lot of people in New York still Downtown.
Wow.
You know, I mean, it's funny because, you know, when I was overseas with Earl and Pistol and all of them, it kind of, even though everybody knew, it still kind of stuck me. So.
Wow. Because, you know, I'm more familiar with Disco. Cause
Disco came from kind of like the playground, the parks.
There you
the
go.
other thing was, you know, when I'm coming home from school, I got drafted, that thing was there. You know, when I went to Phoenix and all, it for some reason. Now, on the pro level, they was like, everybody kept saying, well, that kid is already, that ain't Fred, you know. So they were saying, then sometimes they would ask me, and I said, it just stuck. And, you know, it didn't come from me shooting 3-pointers because it came from me being a Bronx guy coming to Harlem, which was considered downtown at that time.
Very interesting. Tell everybody, man, about the program that you run and the events that you have.
Well, you know, over the years, I was doing a lot of stuff just on my own, you know, going and talking and doing some stuff for people that I knew around the country. And then a friend of mine, his son initially got killed from gun violence. So his father created a foundation, and his father passed literally 20 months later from an accident. So I made a commitment to the family. So it's called the Kevin Shaw Jr. Scholarship Memorial Foundation. And we do anti-gun violence events, but the program is starting to expand now into life skills mentoring. You know, talking about, I bring in some of my partners and associates that I've done business with over the years on the financial literacy side, now the artificial intelligence side, and then just, you know, trying to talk to the kids. Like, I got a lot of relationships, so whether you come out the streets, whether you was a corporate guy, I got relationships across the board, so I like to bring all of them in, sit and talk to them and give them a different perspective so they can understand when you're talking about streets. And when we came up in the 70s, late 60s, 70s, 80s, it was different from now. The gangs was different. It was more drug environment. More everybody wanted to, so there was a drug kingpin of this and that. You know, the last 20 years it changed into the gang culture, but it was a different mindset from all of that. You had number bankers. You had the number bankers, drug game, pimp game. But the number bankers was actually the ones who, their little vice was a little more calmer, and their banks was large, so they used to look out for everybody in those other areas. So, you know, but the foundation, again, I bring them in to talk to the kids, to give some life skill mentoring, to tell them you got a lot of opportunities, a lot of different things in which y'all think y'all know about the streets. You don't really know. You're mimicking something that's not real. So, you know, here's the guys that was in it, and then these are the guys who didn't go that way and were successful. So try to pick up some knowledge from them and see how it works for you.
Well, definitely, man. Let me know what you got going on this year. I'm definitely going to come support.
Well, it's always a pleasure, man, and much success to you. You're doing great things. I appreciate you, and it's always a pleasure, man.
No doubt. Mr. Fred, Disco, Uptown, Downtown, Brown, my brother.
Always a pleasure, man.
First time I wore a shirt and tie was, I didn't want to, but I had to, representing somebody.
I hear that.
I know he's looking at me. He said, you better come in here with a shirt and tie on.
Hey, listen. We're here with the one and only Mr. Top 50 himself. New York basketball icon all over the world. Mr. Nate, Tiny Archibald.
Thank you.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Man, I'm kind of shaking right now. I've done over 500 interviews starting this podcast 4 years ago, and you name them, they've been on the show, man, but you are one of the guys that was on my bucket list, and I'm finally getting a chance
Not
to
a bucket list. Davis, bro. I'm here.
Now, right?
I'm here. I'm
definitely,
here.
Definitely. Hopefully we get the extended version. But we just going to, touch on a few things right now. What does the Bronx Basketball Hall of Fame mean to you?
Well, it brings a lot of us together. I hate to say this on another note, but the only time we see each other is usually at somebody's funeral, somebody's leaving us, or in the hospital. So I think this is a blessing with Derek Dowd that even though we lived in the same building, okay, it's a blessing. It should have been done 20, maybe 30 years ago. Okay, and I say that in my speech whenever I go to Harlem or Brooklyn or whatever, because, some of us are considered OGs now.
Yes.
And when you think about the people that mentored us, okay, people don't have a clue who they are. Okay, so I think that this is a blessing that he's bringing the new with not the old, but the new with the OGs, like Skinny Reed, Tom Sanders, and a lot of people, even though NYU was in the Bronx, a lot of people don't know about Tom Sanders. Okay, got 8, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, no 6, like some of the NBA players was talking about. He got 8 titles, okay, and with the Boston Celtics. People say that because it's not a big deal to them to play with a team, and back then it was a situation where there wasn't that many people that were free agents. See, Oscar Robertson started with Cincinnati, finished with Milwaukee, okay? But that's when free agency started, okay? Usually when you start with a team, you usually end with a team. And Boston probably has more guys that are retired that's in the Basketball Hall of Fame than anybody else. More than the Lakers, more than anybody you could think about. More than the Knicks, okay? Because back then in the 50s and the 60s when it was, I call it not the basketball era, but the Russell era, okay? There won't be another team ever to get 11 championships in 13 years. And the reason why he didn't get 12, okay, because he was hurt his last couple years and they didn't repeat. All right, so I say that to say that the basketball is, it's not like the one in Springfield. We have people, hopefully, that we will honor that probably maybe never will be in Springfield, but maybe so. Floyd got honored by Brooklyn, okay, Harlem, and also the Bronx because he was born in Brooklyn, but he moved to the Bronx when he went to CCNY. So people don't know that. People say, oh, where's Floyd from? He was from the Bronx, okay? Nate Archibald was born in Manhattan because people always say Harlem, on 18th Street. I call it Manhattan, okay? And I moved to the South Bronx, okay? And my loyalty was always to the Bronx because growing up, I don't remember Harlem.
Gotcha.
Okay, I remember the Bronx, living in the Patterson Projects. That's what I remember. And when I talk to people about that, oh, you was born on 118th Street? Yeah, I was there for maybe a couple years, but we moved to the South Bronx and the Patterson Projects. And it was one of the greatest feelings to be a part of a housing project than ever I could imagine, okay? Because a lot of people think that, torn buildings, cars, and stuff like that. I told people when I grew up, and maybe the Lord was looking out for a lot of us, I was blessed. And not with talent and ability basketball-wise, but with all the things that surrounded people, okay, whether you live in the projects, whether you live in the tenements or not. I tell people that when you dream about not being a basketball player, but when you have a dream, I said at one time, just walking the streets of New York and stuff like that, I dreamt that I was part of the Knights of the Round Table. I had armor around me because there was so many things that was going on. People were getting shot. People were getting stabbed. You know, you talk about it wasn't cocaine in the late 60s, 70s, okay? It became heroin. Okay, my two brothers was on that. Okay, so I had to get them out of there. But I think that because of a dream of playing sports, okay, it kept me from doing other things. Okay, it was a kind of, it wasn't a blessing that I played in the NBA. I tell people, no, it was my mentorship that helped me strive to get, first of all, the education, okay, because you know this, and anybody who don't know, if they're listening, if you don't go to school, you can't play on the team.
That's right.
Okay, and with the coaches that mentored me, if you didn't keep your grades up, okay, you couldn't play on the team. So I failed off at Clinton in my sophomore year, and people say, well, you got kicked off. Whatever you want to know, that's what happens, fine. But coming from me, I'm saying I was negligent because I didn't go to class and do what I was supposed to do in class, okay? And all they was trying to do is give you a template of this is what's going to happen when you go to college, okay? You become a student athlete, you know, and a lot of guys now leaving early and stuff like that to play or just get a chance to play in the I call it the biggest league, which is the NBA. But it's not a North American game anymore. You're talking about it's people from all over, okay? And I say people because they got men and women now.
Yeah.
Okay. We just saw the WNBA playoffs, and some of them ladies do go to school, okay, and get their education, but some of them are not from North America, okay? Even though they transfer from wherever they from, you know, you're talking about Brazil, France, Italy, to come here to go to school and get their education and also get a chance to play in the WNBA. And I think that if I have any kind of input with some of the guys, I would tell them to get their education first, because there are probably about 400 guys. We're talking about men that play in the NBA now. But when you look at the pyramid starts down here: elementary, junior high, high school, college, and then you talk about the NBA. But between the NBA, you talk about, I call it, it's called the G League now, which is like baseball. Okay, baseball has maybe 3 different facets before you get to the majors.
Yeah.
They got minor 1, minor 2, minor 3 before you move up. Well, the NBA has what they call a G League now. And some of them guys get drafted, okay, first and second round, and don't get a chance to play in the NBA for years. So my input to them is, whether I'm not going to mention any school, whether you go to university, you go to Division 1, 2, or 3, get your education, because if you get a chance to play, you can always, when you retire, fall back on your education. And people say, well, what happened with you? And I'm proud to say that I didn't graduate on time when I went to, it was called Texas Western.
Yes.
It became the University of Texas El Paso. I told people I had to go back to summer school because the coach was saying, I'm not giving you a degree, okay, just because you're playing in the NBA.
Right.
But I had promised my mother that I was going to get my undergrad degree. And she knew that I got drafted and I was playing and stuff like that. So I moved her out to Long Island, out to Roosevelt, and she was saying that, okay, I know that you're playing in the NBA, but where's my degree at? And I'm saying, your degree? She said, yeah. I don't care about your basketball career. I want you to go to school and get my degree back. Okay, so I went 2-3 years in the summer. You can ask anybody. And I told people I graduated. And a lot of guys, I'm going to give you a couple names that went back, okay, because they felt that they owed it to themselves. Vince Carter, okay, you talk about Stephen Curry, okay, those guys went back, and you're saying, damn, them guys, well, I'm talking about Curry now, making $30-40 million in a year.
Why go back, right?
Okay, why go back? But I think that he's saying that I want to, when I communicate and interact with youngsters, I want them to know that I went back and got my education. It doesn't matter how much money I made, but I want to make sure that they know that I have a college degree. I might not be the smartest person in the world, but I went back and got a college degree.
You reached the highest peak in basketball, but yet you came back to the city and gave it yourself to youngsters. Like, what does that mean to you? Because I know what it means to us hearing that and seeing that.
It meant that the people, and I did a little bit of that, but I think that they molded me. Okay, you talking about Floyd Lane, Hilton White, Miles Dortch, Skinny Reed, Ray Felix. They molded me, and I'm watching what they do for us. Okay, so and people always say, well, you gave it back. No, it's part of a torch, not like the Olympics, but it's a torch that they passed on to you, and if it's not in here, then you're not going to do it. Okay, so I felt that if I could help more people like they did, then the gratification would be, the rewards would be, thank you. That's what the rewards is. No financial or monetary rewards or stuff like that. The rewards would be thank you, okay? And I get that all the time. Guys says, man, we miss you. We want to run a tournament to you. I said, well, I'm going to come and watch y'all. But I said, I'm not retired, but I'll sit there and watch. I'm a spectator now, okay? What I did for y'all, that you have to do for others.
Well, one of the things that I'm doing now with this podcast is making sure we keep New York City history alive. And it's because of gentlemen like yourself that we want to make sure that the kids and the next generation and the generation after that from New York City, because you're known worldwide, but we want to make sure the kids coming up know who Nate Tiny Archibald is and what you stand for, man. So we definitely appreciate you.
Thank you.
And hopefully we can get a extended sit down and we can.
Oh yeah, we could do that, because when people talk about the basketball part, I don't really go into that.
Yes.
Okay, I tell people that, some of us struggled early on when we was in school. Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, I got my diploma from DeWitt Clinton. I went and got my degree, undergrad degree, from University of Texas El Paso, because the name changed. But I also went back to school, okay? And I'm going up to Harvard to talk to the people and see if I could get back in school, because I got a master's from Fordham, and I got a PD, professional degree in supervision and administration from Fordham. But you know this, as you go up, and it's not the ladder, as you go up in education, it costs more.
Yes.
Okay, so my thing is, can somebody defrate the cost so I could get in?
Right,
okay, because I think that I could excel that way, but I don't want to have the weight on me where I got to do something financially where I have other things I have to do to pay bills.
And this is so funny that you mentioned this before, right? It was through this show that I learned that you only played 1 year in high school. I didn't know that.
Right.
I didn't know that. And I think I posted on my page, your team. I think you guys had like 24, 27 people on the team.
Right.
I thought Alexander Hamilton had a lot of players. When I saw this picture, I couldn't believe it. Right. I think it was the 1967 team.
Right.
Yes. And I couldn't.
Might have been more than that, but
because it's an all boys school, right?
Right.
Which I didn't.
Well,
know.
not necessarily. This is what and I was great with John Mathis, because me and him, that was like my right hand guy. He was up at Kennedy. Kennedy's co-ed, but John would have 30 guys on his varsity. He would have 30 or 40 guys on his JV. And then he also had a freshman team.
So Clinton wasn't all boys?
It was all boys at that time. It was all boys.
Gotcha.
And the philosophy was that some of us are going to fail off. Some Some of us gonna be not diligent to do what we're supposed to do, okay? And that's in the classroom. And people always say, well, was at that time, did you think that you was good enough? I don't know that, okay? I know that you only play X amount of games in high school, but in the summertime, I see all of those guys in the summertime. Ask them what kind of work that they got, okay?
I know, I heard.
So you fail off your sophomore, you partially be on it your junior year, and your senior year you became a starter. And not that you started all the time, but his philosophy was, if you see the picture, you might see 30 guys there, but the process of elimination, there'll be a couple guys that ain't gonna be on this varsity to play because of eligibility. And that's what John's philosophy is. And like you said, Ford Hamilton, all of those coaches know that I can't go with 15 guys, okay? Because those 15 guys are not gonna make it. I gotta go with 25 or 30 guys, bring them in, and all of them don't have to be good. But if I can just maintain 20, okay, then we have a possibility to win, okay? Because it's going to be my system or you're not going to play, okay? And then you know that. That's how coaches are.
That's right.
But with Clinton had to me, and I'm not bragging about Clinton, they had so much talent.
Yes.
And plus, Clinton and boys at that time in the 60s wasn't a zone school, okay? Like Von Harper was from Harlem, okay? Von Harper played at Boys High.
That's right.
Okay, there was a lot of guys that we had that was coming from Queens and Brooklyn, and there was a lot of guys from the Bronx going to schools in Brooklyn because Boys High at that time, and I was boys and girls.
Yes.
Boys High at that time wasn't a zone school. See, I thought I was going to go to Taft because Taft was in my zone, okay? But I decided I'm going up to Clinton because, you know, when you have a dream and academics wasn't part of the dream, okay? It was about, I see guys play and stuff like that. I said, damn, man, I play against him in the summertime, man. He's starting on this team. I want a piece of him.
Right.
No, I want a piece of him. Seriously, I want a piece of him. But like I said, you only play X amount of games in high school, but you got all the summer tournaments. You had the citywide, you had the pro-am, you had the, you know, the Rucker, where Rucker started with the elementary, high school, and unlimited. You had 1,000 tournaments. Brooklyn has a tournament. Projects had a tournament. So you saw those guys, okay, that was like walking around like, yeah, I'm representing Clinton. Yeah, I'm representing Hilton, White, Falcons, Floyd Lane, PSA team, and y'all got to get a piece of this, okay? And that's how it was.
You did it the year in high school, junior college, the NBA, and still had time to come back and play in the tournaments in New York City. That's what I think that makes you so special. Out of all the basketball I'm talking about from my perspective, right? Because a lot of people who reach this status don't really come back and play in the tournaments.
It wasn't playing. It wasn't just, you know, people say you played all the time. I loved not the playing part, okay? I had tournaments, I coached other kids and stuff like that, and that brought out a different personality because I tell people I was quiet and I was an introvert. So that brought a different personality out of me where I got to communicate with you, okay? I can't just sit there and let you run up and down the floor. So that brought a different personality out of me. But it was the tournaments and the experience, the knowledge I learned from Floyd and Hilton and them to communicate with the people that was behind me. Okay, yo, you gotta go to school, man. But T, you play so, you know, you killing them in the NBA, man. That's what I'm thinking about. You gotta go to school. You gotta give yourself a chance. I say, because nobody's gonna tell you that. Everybody's gonna look at you, you know, the talent and ability, or you're gonna make it.
Right. That's
okay,
right.
And I'm telling you, go to school and get your education so other people can see. And not if you bless, other people can see your talents. Your talent might not be the playing part. You know, we into 2024s now. Guys are trying to get into management now. You know, you talk about the not the statistics anymore. I forgot the analytics and all that kind of stuff. And you don't have that many of us in there anymore. Okay, you got guys that doing these analytics for these teams that don't look like us.
Yep.
They ain't played no place in college.
That's right.
Okay, so the upper echelon put them down.
Yep.
Okay, and kept us out.
Yep.
So now you got guys, and I'm not gonna mention their names. They're making a lot of money. They want to buy or purchase where you know where their dwellings are. You're talking about. I'm from a basketball player, and I'm not gonna mention any names who making a lot of money, and they have pursued these areas too. The high echelon don't want you there. You got more money. You know, you got a couple guys that are playing currently now, are billionaires now. They got money to buy a team, okay? But they don't want you in that kind of area.
That's right.
Okay? We don't have that many GMs. We don't have that many director of player personnel. And we know the game. It's not that we invented the game, but we know the game. The knowledge that we have is going to be missed by the people behind us because the younger generation has the ability, the talent. They don't have any foundation.
How do we change that?
We got to put more of us in those type of positions, and they don't want that. I'm just telling you. I don't care about the pocket. They don't want that, okay? Because you got so much knowledge to give them about. You got to invest your money now. You making, you know, when I was playing, I was making maybe 200, 300,000. You making 20, 30 million, okay? And you buying 6 cars, 7 cars. Can you drive all those cars at the same time? You got 3 and 4 different houses. Every time you get moved someplace, I'm not gonna say traded, move someplace, you buy a house, and now you go someplace else, you gotta leave that house, and you gotta put that house on the market, so you're losing money. And the knowledge that we could give them is priceless. Because I would tell a youngster who's making that type of money, where do you really want to live when this thing's over? Florida, California. We got a house in Delaware. Okay, where do you want to live? Think about it. Where do you want to live? That's where your foundation starts. You know, but your mother and father still alive? They say, oh yeah, take care of them. Because you know what, bro, while you here, they took care of your ass. Okay, so take care of them. And then they could take care of the house. Okay, and they could give you advice about that. But a lot of them they don't want you to give them that type of information. I'm telling you, that's priceless. They don't want that information.
Man,
and a lot of them, and you see, a lot of them get broke, they get lost, okay, and because it's not that they don't listen to you, people don't connect them with the OGs. I'm just telling you, they don't. Because some of the young guys, their head will swell if some of the OGs got to them. Yeah, man, you're making so why don't you invest some of that money, you know, and you know, move it around, you know. Junior Bridgman, he played for Milwaukee.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just telling you guys, Albert King in New Jersey.
Yes.
Okay, so what they did was they invested other venues. Yeah, they would love to be part of an NBA franchise, but they invested because you know, and you know, the doctors always say don't eat that fast foods. We eating it. I'm just saying we eating it.
Right.
Okay, so Junior I think had Wendy's and stuff like that, and I think Albert because I
Burger King.
I saw Albert about 2 weeks ago, and I think he got 1 or 2 or 3 franchises like that. That's where you invest your money, even though you don't have to eat it. But you know, people, especially the kids, they go in there. All right. Instead of buying stuff that you ain't gonna use, okay? I mean, guys got a garage, and they got not even a garage. They got a house full of 12, 13, 14 cars. Come on, man, you could only drive one. All right, so when I was growing up, to go to Clinton, we had to either take and most of the time it was the train.
Yeah.
Okay. Or the bus. And I tell people my best motive, okay, I had a bicycle. Okay, early on, I was riding my bike. Damn, man, you still riding your bike? Hell yeah, I'm still riding my bike. That way I don't have to give you a ride. I don't have to give you a ride. I don't have to give nobody a ride. And plus, I keep myself in shape, okay, riding the bike.
Well, you looking young every day, man, and I want to hear the secrets to that, man, and how you keep it so young and vibrant, man, so we can get and talk to some more of these gentlemen. How do you do it, brother? You know.
It's embedded in you, you know, because when I start, you know, not knowing where I was going to be, especially when I was in high school, I just felt that, and I wasn't a marathon runner. Running and riding my bike, I was free. Okay, a lot of people say you was free. I was free. I mean, all I could see was the road I had to go around, the streets I had to go. I tell people I was free. I'm running, and ask anybody who I coach, they said, if you're not in shape, you ain't gonna play on this team. Because most coaches give you instructions. Back then, I didn't have to give you instructions. Meet me at the track. Okay, and guys are saying, damn, are you gonna run me to death? Yeah, I'm gonna run you to death because that's gonna get me in shape. But you know that when we go to practice, I know that you're ready, okay, and you're not giving up anything. But that's the first thing. It was a training process. See, guys got personal trainers, they got personal chefs and shit now. We didn't have that. We had to take care of our body with damn near nothing, okay? And I tell people, it was here, okay? It was here and it was here. I want to be not better than anybody, but I want you to know that I'm coming, okay? I'm going to be there, okay? I'm not going to be one of them shy guys that sit by and watch you play and I'm all at you. I am. But I want to show you that when I cross that line, you got to be ready for this, okay? Because I got something for y'all. Just like you got something for me, I got something for y'all.
Well, I appreciate this time, man, and I would definitely love to bring you on the podcast so we can just have a full sit down without, you know, all the chaos and everything, man.
Okay.
Appreciate you. Listen.
Thank you.
My hero.
All right.
Thank you for everything you did for us, all right?
Okay.
What's up, world? It's your boy, Glenn Pooh Harding. We in Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy that is, at the world's famous Tom, Dick, and Harry's. Y'all know what it is, man.
So crazy, yeah, it's what I live for, crazy. It's so real, fuck 'em. I've been making moves on a poppy, you with it then copy. I'll be a doormat cause your format is sloppy. And he's so amazing, angels is hating, dudes losing patience. Fuck 'em, keep waiting, Todd is the gift.
709 Broadway. You're gonna go check out my guy Benny Blanco, the #1 tattoo gallery in New York City. You heard? Let's go upstairs and check it out. Vintage art everywhere. Vintage toys, vintage games. Look at that. That Pac-Man right here. Locked and loaded. Y'all come through. Y'all know what it is. Shadow Gallery 718. It's your boy Glenn Pooh Harding. Basketball heads. Back at you. Peace. Okay, we're here with Roy McDaniel, legendary Bronx player. What? You from the Bronx, right?
Yep.
What part of the Bronx you from?
Northeast Bronx, by Co-op City, right across. It's called the Valley.
Okay. Well, I didn't even know that we had a valley in New York City.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Citywide was up there at one time. A lot of residential area, but I played. That's where I began playing, but I ended up playing all over the place. So, but most of the stuff was developed in the Bronx and moved into the other boroughs.
Okay. Let's talk about that legendary Citywide shirt, man. When you got that Citywide shirt, you felt like you made it, right?
Well, you know, back back then it was, you get certain shirts. That was a major accomplishment. I went to 5-star camp all the time, so it was a trading piece, and Citywide was a big thing back then. So having a shirt like that, even playing in the tournament and doing well in the tournament, because it was one of the most established tournaments, so it meant a lot. It meant a lot. Yes, it did.
What does tonight mean to you?
Well, I look at some of these guys. A lot of these guys, I took a lot from them, watching them, and put it into my game. So to see them get honored is just overdue. You know what I mean? So I thought I was a pretty good ball player, but like I said, I watched these guys and developed my game through them, sitting at the Rucker from 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock, watching every game without moving. Thinking about it now, I really was dedicated to getting better, and looking at these guys go in, it's deserving, because like I said, a lot of stuff I started to do came from these guys, just observing what they do, watching them, going back home, trying to implement in my game what they did. So, it carried me a long way. So to see these guys again, it's a great thing. It's a great thing.
When you're young and you're seeing the older guys play, and like you said, you're going out and mimicking some of their moves, man.
Right.
Did that make you a better ball player?
Oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, again, I can remember watching these games, going there, and just stealing moves and putting it into my game, And after a while, I was able to, kind of get people to watch me and do the same thing. So without those guys and me seeing those guys, I wouldn't have had the full development of my game, I think. So it was a great thing to be at these tournaments, and not only that, it made me want to play in the Rucker, play in the Pro Rucker. It made me want to do a lot of different things because I saw it before me. I was young, so to do that, I knew I was on another level, being able to do these things. So it was a great. Not only that, with basketball, a lot of people get it mixed up. Sometimes just the camaraderie, development, socializing with different people, going different places. Basketball has taken me to almost every state, and a few places out of the country. So it has done a lot. I mean, educational-wise, I never paid a dime, and that's one of the great things. I hear people talk about loans all the time. I was on a full scholarship the whole time, so I never paid a dime. But like I said, and not only that, it made the time go faster, going to college and doing things. So it was a great experience for me, and it's still to this day, I still seeing some of these guys and hearing this stuff go on. It's just a great feeling, It's a great feeling.
Where did you play high school and college?
I played at Evander Childs. And then I had a real crazy college career because I went to the University of Buffalo. I played there. I was Western New York Freshman of the Year there. Then they dropped the program from Division I to Division III. So I ended up transferring out. I went to Portland State University. Did well there. They dropped their program.
Wow.
So I ended up but all this time, I was able to transfer right away and play because they went down. If they had been going up, it's a different story. So they went down, so I was able to go to a Division I and play right away. So I ended up my career at the United States International University.
Yes.
That was in San Diego, and I did well. I just think that I didn't spend enough time in one particular school to really make an impact, but I did pretty well there. I did pretty well. Matter of fact, when I was at Portland, I think Julius, one of the guys from the Bronx, he was at Oregon State at the time. So, like I said, I didn't stay long enough to really, get the real feel of Portland, but it was a great town. I mean, you know, it wasn't no doing of. One thing I'm proud of, although you see that I went to 3 schools, I graduated on time.
That's right.
So, you know, that was something I was very proud of. And, you know, when I tell people that, oh, you've been all over, yeah, but I graduated on time because I was doing my work, you know. So, again, basketball was just a vehicle for me to do a lot of different things. And I think I got that accomplished, you know.
Well, I appreciate you stopping by, man.
No problem.
Up with you, man.
No problem, brother.
All right. Appreciate you.
All right.
Congratulations for everything you do.
Thank you, brother.
Basketball.
All right.
All right. I don't know why I kept saying Patron. I had a coach named Patron.
No problem. Listen, I've been called Santiago, everything in the book.
All right. We're here with Santos Negron, all right? Bronx legend.
Basically, I'm a coach from El Barrio, but I coach a lot of the legends from the Bronx, Angel Cruz.
So
Nestor Cora, a bunch of guys. My legacy is mostly from Spanish Harlem, sending a lot of the ball players to play in pro ball in Puerto Rico for the last 50-something years over there.
Wow.
Felipe Lopez is a personal good friend of mine. That's where my legacy is.
So, okay, so you from downtown, shipping all your players.
Yeah, we come here, we play in Spanish, we play in the Bronx, we play all through the city. But basically, primarily, we played in a lot of Hispanic tournaments, which is in the Bronx,
yes,
and in Harlem. So we were also situated in a church called St. Edward's on 109th Street between 5th and Madison, where some famous players that wind up playing professionally in PR for the Olympic team, the World Games and all that. I sent about 25 to 35 players out there to play during the 80s and 90s.
Wow. When did you start to coach?
In the late 60s.
Ooh. So you go back, brother.
Yeah, I've been doing it for like 55 years right now.
Wow.
I'm also an inductee into the Harlem Hall of Fame. Also, we're doing a major celebration this June at White Park, which is with Bob McCullough, who is the commissioner of Pro Rucker, gave me permission to call White Park the Spanish version of Rucker Park, because we sent a lot of the players that played there who wind up playing the professional league in Puerto Rico during their high school years. They never went to college because they wind up getting signed out there, and they were like celebrities. And when you're that young, you don't want to come back.
That's right.
So that's where my part of my legacy is at.
Well, maybe you could be my connector to getting a lot of the Hispanic ball players on, because I think they're a great representation of New York City basketball that don't get a lot of shine, right? So
the problem with the league now has changed dramatically. Years ago, it would consist of a lot of the players and sons and daughters of people that grew up in PR. Now the league is more professionally, paying a lot of the pro players and all that. So you can get them in there, but it's a little harder than before. Before it was more easier because they opened their arms to them. Now it's all about winning and money.
Did you have anything to do with True Carter?
No, I knew True Carter growing up. Or a lot of my players are his friend, personal friend. Wesley Correa,
yes,
Angel Cruz, we had Cesar Fantauzi, we had Jeffrey Carrion. A bunch of them were very, very close to Carter. As a matter of fact, I think Carter still lives in PR right now.
Yes. What does the Bronx Basketball Hall of Fame mean to you?
Well, what it means to me, I always saw New York City, even though I came from Harlem, I always saw New York City as a melting pot of ball players that were warriors. Like New York had a mentality of being warriors. In other words, we take no prisoners, we leave it all on the court, but we walk out with our head up high regardless if we win or lose, as long as you put it all on the court. And that's what I always taught all my players. I taught my players we are competitors on the court, but we're brothers off the court. And we have to always understand that even though we're from different neighborhoods, we all deal with the same problems, the same issues. So don't think that we're different just because we're from neighborhoods. We play a different game, and we play to win all the time. So that was one of my main emphasis with our players, that we have no animosity towards any player, only on the court. You know.
And then after the court, we're brothers, man. We
That's
go,
right.
You know, we go eat together. We have a drink, piña colada, whatever. But at the end of the day, we're struggling the same struggle. So, you know, it makes no sense to be enemies on the court and carry it on off the court. It doesn't make no sense.
Do you think New York City will continue to produce more Hispanic ball players?
I say the sad part about New York basketball, entirely New York, or the basketball community in the whole, is that we got a generation of soft young kids coming up. That too much videos, too much social media, not enough on the streets. Like when I grew up, it was an issue what time you got home.
That's right.
Now the issue is when are you getting go out and play?
Right.
You know? So it's just so, and then these kids don't want to. I practice kids. I give them 25 laps. They're already crying. So it's like, if you can't do 25 laps, you can't play ball.
That's right.
You got to run up and down. You got to run up and down. And you got to be able to always commit yourself 100% to the game. If you got a dream to be a pro, then you got to put the time and the effort. It ain't going to come overnight, and it's not given.
That's right.
It's never given. You got to take it. You got to take it. And if you take it and you do it the right way, then you got a fan following you. You got people respecting you, and you're creating your own legacy in life. You know? So that's how I look at basketball in the sense of from Spanish Harlem to the Bronx. Especially the Bronx has a mecca. I would call the Bronx myself a volcano of great ball players of all aspects, from all walks of life coming out. A lot of them carried over and came and played in Harlem, played down in Lower East Side, but carried that Bronx pride, which was always, for me, recognizable, and I would do that. I had a lot of players that came from the Bronx, so I would recognize that. And half my family grew up in the Bronx, so I understood how important and how the legacy of the Bronx is very important to New York community, Harlem, basketball.
Well, I appreciate you, Santos.
My pleasure,
Thank you, man.
Okay.
It's good meeting you, man.
Let me give you my card, so that way you keep in touch.
Definitely. We can definitely do the full podcast and hear the full story.
I just gotta find it.
It's all right. All right? I got you.
Okay?
I'll give you a call.
You give me a call, and then I'm doing something on June 28th, 29th. I'm doing a Puerto Rico. What I do is I created with Bob McCullough 25 years ago. We created Puerto Rican Pro Legends versus Rucker Pro Legends.
Okay.
We've been doing that for 25 years. So this year I'm honoring my Puerto Rican Pro Legend guys for the Hall of Fame at East Harlem, White Park. Matter of fact, Richard Pagan, who's one of my associates and coach, is part of that. He's a legacy. He's a pro player from PR.
Okay, so what we'll do, we'll bring you on the podcast to promote it.
Yeah,
and
promote it.
And I'll cover it.
Just call me up and I get you involved, and then do the whole thing. I got Earl showing up. I got Frazier showing up.
Okay.
You know, I got some of the greats coming up over here to the game.
What's the date?
The 28th, 29th of June.
Well, we got to call you before then.
Definitely.
All right.
Honor to meet you, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Okay.
We're here with Stephen Post, Bronx, New York. We're here at the Bronx Basketball Hall of Fame. How you doing, Stephen?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Yes. So let's talk about tonight and what tonight means to you.
It's really important. I think the Bronx, long overdue to get something like this in the Bronx. A lot of great players from the Bronx, a lot of great basketball played in the Bronx. I grew up in the Bronx, went to public school, junior high school, college in the Bronx, taught in the Bronx, coached in the Bronx.
Wow.
Been here a long time.
So did you actually play the game?
Never played in an organized team. Was not good enough. Not good enough.
What did you add to the game? Because I understand that you're a Bronx legend yourself.
Well, I coached at Stevenson from 1977 through 1990.
Ding, 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 ding. When you said the name, I kind of knew that. I just wanted to bring that out. listen, you coached some great players.
I certainly did, from Eddie, who's being honored tonight, to Fred Brown, who belongs in this Hall of Fame as well, to Billy Singleton, who's here. And
okay, which Fred Brown? The Fred Brown that's here tonight, or the Fred Brown that played at Georgetown?
Georgetown.
Got you.
Yeah, Fred and Eddie were on the same team.
Okay.
And in 1980, we won the city championship. Fred's senior year, Eddie's junior year. We beat Benjamin Franklin before it became Manhattan School.
They were loaded.
They had Gary Springer, Richie Adams.
Yes.
We beat them in the semifinals, 62-60 in overtime. And then in the championship game, we played Long Island City. And the final was 92-52.
Who was on that team? Do you remember?
Fleming, one of the Fleming brothers, not Vern, the other one.
Okay, Vic Fleming.
Vic Fleming.
Yes. Wow. How has New York City basketball changed over the years since you was coaching?
Well, I think unfortunately what's happened now is a lot of the better basketball players get recruited to leave the city, leave the state, go to Florida, go to all these basketball academies. So the public school basketball in New York City is, I think, gone down for that reason, And also the Catholic schools became more prominent.
Yeah, well now as we speaking, the Catholic school lost a lot of their players to public school.
Yeah.
It's kind of flipping back. It's kind of
interesting.
Flipping back. But as a whole, I think a lot of the kids are living in New York City. Do you think if kids stayed, it'll make the city better and they'll still have an opportunity to play?
I think so. I always felt if you're good enough, doesn't matter where you play, especially now. There are no secrets anymore. Everybody knows who's good and who's not. So you can play anywhere. If you're good enough to go to the next level, you're going to get there.
Do you think AAU is hurting basketball, high school basketball?
I don't know about now, but I think it started to as I was finishing my high school career. A lot of it had to do with the college recruiting and the college recruiting rules when the summer became the only time they could recruit, and that's when all the AAU games were played, so the AAU coaches became more important than the high school coaches.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that was the start of it, and I think now for a lot of kids the AAU is more important for them because that's where they're going to be seen.
How tough is it to win a city championship in New York City? Because I know a lot of great players that haven't won a city championship, and
it was pretty tough. Great. I was just talking to Coach Lopez outside about you have to have good players to win. Good coaches win with good players. Nobody wins with bad players.
That's true.
And I was lucky at Stevenson. I had a lot of good players. Eddie, Fred Brown, Billy Singleton, David Kane, played at St. John's, Dedrick Irving, whose son Kyrie, I think some people know.
Yes.
Played for me. We had a lot of good players. I think there were 15 Division I players that graduated from Stevenson while I was there. But they were good athletes. It was a big school, over 4,000 students. So there was a lot of choice.
Do you think the competitiveness of New York City basketball kind of made the players who they were back then? Because a lot of kids don't get to play against each other as much. Some league, yes, maybe.
Yes.
But the Catholic schools don't play each other. Sometimes some of the public schools.
We had great competition.
Yes.
Throughout my years at Stevenson. Very tough competition.
Did the Catholic school play the public schools back then, or they always kept it separate?
Well, we did. I always liked to scrimmage Catholic schools. I scrimmaged Cardinal Hayes pretty much every year, All Hallows every year. We used to go out to Long Island Lutheran and scrimmage, and we used to play in their Christmas tournament when they always beat us. All my years at Stevenson, we never won a Christmas tournament.
Wow.
But we won 3 city championships out of 4 tries. So I was pretty proud of that.
Okay. Which one is more important? City championship or state championship?
Well, I think the state championship became more important. When I first started coaching, I think the city championship was more important. But we never won a state championship. We went to 2 state championships. We lost in the championship one year, and we lost in the semifinals one year.
Everybody who asks that question, you know what they say?
City
championship. Yeah.
Yeah, at the time, for sure. I think, like Mount Vernon in New York, they've won a lot of state championships.
Yeah, they won the most.
I think for them, the state championship was more important than their section championship.
Yes.
Whereas in the city championship was more important.
And now there's no more federations, so the public schools play at the Catholic school, and that's it.
There's no more federation championship? I didn't even. When did that end?
Not for New York City. Last year.
Oh.
I think 2 years ago, but last year was the 2 years ago was the end of it. 2 years ago, and then.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yes. Well,
I mean, for a lot of kids, when the first year we played, most of my kids, it was the first time we took an airplane. It was played in Rochester.
Wow.
That year, and it was the first time those kids got on an airplane. So it was a good experience for them.
Well, I'm glad we got a chance to talk, man.
Thank you.
I want to say thank you, all right, for helping all the kids that you helped during your tenure there at Stevenson and being such an honorable and great coach. I played for Bobby Harstein at Lincoln.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you're familiar?
I'm very familiar. Trust me. Listen, and
when did you graduate?
I graduated in '87. I'm one of the reasons why y'all kind of won in '87 because I went to Maine Central my senior year.
Well, we didn't win in '87.
No. Oh,
'87 Springfield Gardens.
Springfield won it. But y'all beat them.
We won in '88 and '89.
Right. And that's what
we beat Lincoln in the semifinals, and then the finals 2 years in a row.
Yes.
3 years in a row we beat them.
Yeah.
For some reason we had their number. I don't know.
I know. Trust me. So I'm sitting here making a phone like I don't know who this man is. I know exactly who it is.
Every championship that we won, we were the underdogs.
And
every one.
When we won it in '86, we were definitely the underdogs. I had David on the show. Billy, he's coming on the show, and to have you sitting here, man, this is an honor.
Billy made a play when we beat Lincoln in the 87 to get to the finals. I don't know if you remember.
Yes.
Billy threw a pass, Tiny intercepted it.
Yes.
And Billy, who could barely jump off the floor, blocked Tiny's layup.
This is what I'm saying, that you guys...
He had the heart of a lion, Billy.
When you guys beat us, when I had left to go to Maine Central, I remember reading that play, and I'm saying to myself, this is why you should take care of your schoolwork. Because instead of me being at Lincoln my senior year, I had to go to Maine Central, and we wound up losing. And then when I heard that...
You could have made the difference, huh?
Boy, would I. But listen, give credit due. Stevenson, great team. Billy's an awesome player, and y'all got what y'all deserve. So
thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Glenn.
Yes.
My pleasure.
Nice to meet you. All right, we're here with Stuart Davis, Queen's finest. Each one teach one representative. Man, what do you think about tonight, man?
Oh, this was, once again, another phenomenal night. Year 3, I've been here all 3 years.
Wow.
I basically come to represent my father and all my uncles who all went to DeWitt Clinton High School. My father graduated in 59. And so, and then, of course, with him being from Harlem, that's how I got connected to being in Harlem, Ruckapo, each one, teach one, as a kid. And that propelled me to be where I'm at today. So, but I'm here here, as I say, I'm representing my father, Stuart Davis, of course.
Yes.
And all my uncles, you know, the Davis boys, who was 4 of them, and they all went to Clinton.
And they all helped Clinton become one of the winningest programs in New York City history.
One of the winningest programs in New York City.
18 city championships.
18 of them. 18 of them. The one that he always talked about was when they beat Boys High. He said with Connie Hawkins and them, he always told me, he said, man, that whole team dunked except one person. He said,
wow.
but on the team that when he was there, Jerry Hawkins was the only one who could dunk.
Wow.
He said that whole team, when they was on the layup line, dunking. And Clinton won that game.
Yeah. Clinton leads with 18, Boys High with 14.
Yeah. And
then right behind them is us, Lincoln, at 13.
Yes.
So, man, a lot of legacy in your family.
A lot of legacy in my family, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So is the Each One Teach One, is this still going on to this day?
Yes, it is. Still
going strong.
I was in the park again all this summer, helping out reffing games, mentoring kids. It's a part of, back then when I was doing it, I was working when I first got in 81, and then now it's just a part of my life, you know, to go back and help out with the kids that's working there, the kids that's playing in the tournament, you know, to help them just achieve all their goals in life and find out that there's other things not, you know, beyond basketball, because that's really what Each One Teach One also wants to show is books and basketball, and that there's another side to basketball just other than being on the court, and that's what we've been about.
Books before ball, because without
books
the
for
books,
ball,
right?
Books for ball, before ball, and then the other jobs that's behind basketball that a lot of people don't talk about or really know about.
And how has that propelled you in your life and what you do today?
Well, I mean, you know, I was offered a job to come up there and work for the summer, and I finally went up there in 1981. And the first day, they gave me the clock and told me, when a player touches the ball, you start it. When you hear a whistle, you stop it. That's the mantra that I work for even to this day, and I'm 33 years in at Madison Square Garden working for the Knicks. The Liberty was 25 years, since 97, was it 25, 26 years working with the Liberty. We just won a championship finally. But yeah, that's where it went. That's my behind the scenes job, which, you know, if you don't know me, a lot of people say, I seen you before. I mean, many times on the street, people say, I seen you before. And, you know, I don't think so. And I know what it is. You know, they're watching the game and the camera will flash by, and that's where they'll pick it up. But I'm here to show that there are other jobs, more so than the people who can run, you know, play the game as well. If you can't play the game as well, you might be able to do something else.
The ball is going to stop dribbling one day, right?
The ball is always going to stop dribbling one day. I don't care. Because I was one of those people in the park going, I'm going to play this forever. And then one morning I woke up, I was like, nah, back hurt, knee hurt. I think I'll take today off.
How many times did you miss the game because of an injury that happened on the job?
I have never missed a game because of an injury on the job.
Right, because you know, in sports, you will have an injury or two, right?
Yes.
Right. So when people see that there's other jobs outside of the game, but
game
still
itself.
inside the game,
yes,
it can last for a very long time.
Oh, it lasts for a very long time. I mean, like I said, I'm at year 30, 32, 33, somewhere in there.
I don't think LeBron is going to go that long.
No, LeBron ain't going to go that long. You know, he could be a part of the league for 30, 40 years. You know, as many guys who have had careers that have expanded, you know, coaching and general managers. It can go up to, you know, a guy like Isaiah Thomas is over 30 years. A lot of guys have had, you know, 30 plus years, 40-year careers. Hubie Brown, who's got to be, 60 years in the ABA, NBA life, you know, on your body, running up and down the court, jumping and banging and all that, because that ends, but the other parts can continue on. And like I said, it's 30 years.
How proud are you of this gentleman right here?
I'm very proud. you know, it took me a second for me to remember, because out in the park we would have, you know, a couple of hundred kids, and we'd start at 8 o'clock in the morning. We might finish at like 5 o'clock in the evening. And myself and my partner Floyd Folks, we'd be out there reffing the games and, you know, talking, laughing with the kids. My sons grew up in there, and to see the gentlemen, because they were kids, and now them as gentlemen now in their careers and in their lives. I met families.
Right, guys. Fahim got his own family. You know, child. Right.
That fills me up. That fills me way up to see them and remember that they were kids then, and now they're grown men now, and they're flourishing in their lives. And that gives me a lot more so than whatever they did on the basketball court, to see that they're here now and they're doing well and they're prospering, and now they're bringing up their families and, you know, moving on in life. That's an awesome feeling inside. To know.
And each one teach one, because he did remember that, and,
yes.
And you know, the impact they had on his life, and now he get to pass it on to the next generation.
Yes.
I ain't believe he played ball, but now you made me a believer. You made me a believer.
Yes.
You made me a believer.
He played ball very well.
He's an official.
Yes,
Got you. Salute.
Yes, 100%. And a sister, shout out to her. I mean, she definitely blessed us. It was what I wanted out of that tournament was not just guys come play basketball and go. It was a community. We weren't charging a lot because it wasn't about the money. A lot of times, me and my partner, we put up the extra money. I never forget one time we had permission slips. Kid came back, permission slip was all in crayon. I knew he filled it out. He said, but my mom's had him, go get a shirt, go play. Because for me, it was about the kids of the community having something to do. It wasn't about the trophies. It was just come out, everybody come together with one family. So that way, if you're walking down the street, you know, there's no mean mugging, because you know that guy. You saw him all day Saturday. We were out in the park, you know. And so now we look at ourselves as a family and not just, you know, that dude over there. And that's what we wanted. And I think we achieved that.
But man, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate the whole Each One Teach One Foundation, because it helped a lot of kids, including myself, my guy Fahim, and hundreds of thousands of other kids.
Thousands,
man.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate
the Davis family, man.
Thank you. I love it.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
No doubt.
Yes.
got just one night, let's just make it one night. Everything is perfectly planned, make sure it's done right. I'm here with my family, and we got the girls who like to have some fun, but just for one night.
I remember way back when Mama said clean up them damn toys, and you better pick up them pants, boy. This is when I had no worry in the world. Papa told me stay strapped when fuck them girls. No responsibility. Now they baby fathers get at me. Why they locked up in facilities? Keep your fam tight, keep your enemies closer. Who that little dude riding around with that roaster? Mean up when they approach ya. Slow down, thug. Lay 'em on ice, so chill on that coaster. Sit back, relax, take a load off the feet. Chillin', one day at a time, one rhyme after rhyme. This is for my niggas on the grind. This is for my people working at 9 to 5. Can you feel me? I'm trying to get rich and start up a real team. And on for the cakes is the real team.
Cause we got just one night, let's just make it one night. Everything is perfectly planned, make sure it's done right. I'm here with my family, and we got the girls who like to have some fun, but just for one night. Cause we got just one night, let's just make it one night. Everything is perfectly planned, make sure it's done right. I'm here with my family, and we got the girls who like to have some fun, but just for one night.
Picnic, barbecues, family reunions. Good people, good food with good music. We all fight to get along, celebrate the union. Forget about the past, let's all get down. Leave your problems at home, the sounds of the phone. Kick it with your friends around the way who follow the code. Reminisce about the time we didn't have any clothes. New sneakers once a year, now we're selling out shows. It's a family affair, Big Mama up in here. Grandpa sitting by his side, holding back tears. We the last generation of what's real, like a gut feel. Don't burn bridges till you learn how one of us feel. Cornbread, fried chicken, collard greens, eggnog. Hennessy for the grown folks getting their drink on. Kids playing all around, women everywhere. Family reunion and do this every year.
We got just one night, let's just make it one night. Everything is perfectly planned, make sure it's done right. I'm here with my family, and we got the girls who like to have some fun, but just for one night. Cause if we got just one night, let's just make it one night. Everything is perfectly planned, make sure it's done right. I'm here with my family, and we got the girls who like to have some fun, but just for one night.
All right, now we're about to do this. This is a great party at the Bronx Basketball Hall of Fame. Now it's your opportunity to show some love. It's great. I'm sorry. No, I didn't know you was out before. I'm telling you, this is you for 3 years, man. Yeah. On your face. Thank you, man. I'm trying to get you. I know. I'm trying to get you all, man. He didn't mention I'm from Theodore Roosevelt High School, class of 77. Roosevelt in the house. But we got some brothers here from the 100. We're going to be real brief. These are some of the brothers here from the New York City chapter, 100 Black Men. And if you know anything about what the 100 is, it's all about community service, it's all about helping our young people. And remember, we started the first Eagle Academy, which is now 6 schools for all boys in New York City and Newark. But I want to say congratulations for the 3rd induction for the Bronx Basketball Hall of Fame. I think to have a Hall of Fame in the Bronx is just tremendous. And there's so many great people that come out of the Bronx, and we're just talking about the basketball guys. But you know, beyond basketball, the Bronx has produced a lot of great people. So give yourself a round of applause if you're from the Bronx. We love the Bronx, always the Bronx, #1. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna let Derek. I'm gonna let the one auction off this ticket. I want the Yankees to sponsor us. I want 100 Black Men to sponsor us. Put y'all on bounce. Let's go. Oh yeah. Let's see 800. Come on now. Are y'all scared?
1995, including a very modest 38-point per game average her senior year and leading her team to the playoffs. Afterward, highly recruited, this honoree chose to play at Ohio State before ultimately transferring to St. Peterson, New Jersey. Today, she shares her passion for the game as the head coach of the boys varsity team at Brooklyn Community Arts and Media. Under her leadership, they received a remarkable 30-0 record culminating in a BSAL E-Division championship. She continues to make her mark in the basketball community, proudly representing the Patterson and Soundview houses and inspiring the next generation of players. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lawanda.
As we step into the Bronx Hall of Fame. Hey, I'm a teacher. The Bronx is the birthplace of legends. The body of work produced by this class in 2024 has significantly influenced the global landscape of the game we love. Our journey began from humble beginnings, with each of us starting with the understanding that those outside our beloved borough viewed us as less than individuals, unworthy of success. They were utterly mistaken. What one plan, God molds. I am truly a testament of God's plan. My first passion was track and field. I was certain that I would represent the USA in the 100 sprint or the 200 relay. However, my dreams were abruptly halted when agencies intervened in my childhood. Unfortunately, my mother was unable to provide a stable home environment for my brothers and I to grow. The notion that God's rejection is his protection is a concept I frequently talk to my wife about. This belief was reinforced when, despite the end of my track career, my passion of the sport of basketball was ignited by Magic Johnson's diagnosis of HIV. Fun fact, on November 7th today, 1991, 33 years ago, Magic Johnson made that announcement. Now, if that doesn't make you believe we are predestined, in true Aries fashion, my Aries, who are my Aries in here? In true Aries fashion, I was compelled to engage in a sport I never played or had no interest in because of Magic. My Aunt Tracy always joked, here we go, another sport. Every month is a different sport. I dedicated myself to training day and night, often resulting in sneaking out the house at 5 a.m. to secure 2 hours on the top of the hill. Following this, I would attend gym classes, observing the boys play on the low rim at 174, leading me to Kips Bay, where I would sneak out the swimming practice to watch the renowned players such as Terrence Rencher, Reggie Freeman, and David King, amongst others. By the fall of 1992, I joined Steve-O. My big sister, Lovey, where you at? Took me under her wing and guided me through the varsity basketball. I recall her giving me advice. You may not play much this year, but focus on your rebounding, your free throws, and making your layups. I remember sitting in awe, eyes as wide as the apple we love, yearning to emulate her jump shot, her crossover. From that point forward, I immerse myself in the study of the game. After my time at Kiss Bay, I would return home to 9 p.m. to again practice my jump shots on the top of the hill. I would then hit the shower and watch ESPN, watching Michael Jordan clips over and over again to Joe the next morning to implement it. As I bring my speech to a close, I just want to state some things. The facts. From 1992 to 1995, I was recognized as the most prolific scorer in New York State Girls Basketball League. There is no room for debate in that matter. My freshman year, I played sparingly, but by my junior year, I was on the court as most. As a senior, the majority of my games concluded by halftime. My coach sat me down to spare embarrassment of other teams. Imagine being a senior, scoring 53 points in just 2 quarters to reach your 2,000 career points. These are not exaggerations. You can ask Felipe. There are variable facts. Finishing with a total of 2,401. I wish it was 25. It was 24. Maybe I could have had some more until Alicia came. Indeed, my plan was defined. My desire for the game, to play the game for Magic, was fueled by the love of Jordan. And if you were a Jordan fan, you know that it led me to strive for dominance over everyone every time I stepped on the court. The love. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to every coach who has guided me through my journey. Miss Butler for her unwavering nonsense approach. Mrs. Nelson Black who recognized my potential and allowed me to thrive. He nurtured this talent and allowed me to blossom in the midst of concrete challenges. I'm also thankful for Artie and Dave and Ron for managing my sometimes challenging behaviors. That's what we say as educators. The Barretts, rest in peace, Mr. Barrett, for the countless car rides shared. Barbara for being an exceptional auntie, and Jamel. Jamel's here today. Jamel was the first person that took me to the Rucker in West 4th at like 17. It was like, you good? We took a lot to play against them. And I'm very thankful for that now. My family from Millbank, I know Kelsey's here today. Rest in peace, Mr. Hughes. And my basketball sisters, where are you? My basketball sisters. Thank you. I love you. Thank you for carrying me when I was a handful. I know. I'm forever grateful for your care and your support through my journey. The blood. I wanted to express my love and gratitude for my Uncle Todd and my mother who are no longer with us. I know as an adult the sacrifice they made for me to be here today. Thank you, Grandma, for your unconditional love and dedicating your 40s. Just imagine dedicating your 40s to take care of your grandchildren. Man, that lady was special. My brothers and me. Aunt Tracy, she's here right now. She's my closest friend since birth. Thank you for being the wind beneath my wings. Julie and Jillian, thank you for being my children. I love you. Lizette, thank you for being my ride or die for 20 tryout.
This honoree was born in the Dominican Republic, moved to the South Bronx at 14, and quickly became a basketball star. At Rice High, he earned first-team All-City honors for 4 years and was named Gatorade and USA Parade Player of the Year. His commitment to St. John's drew significant media attention, including a Sports Illustrated cover. He ended his college career with 1,927 points, ranking 4th in St. John's history. He was drafted 24th in 1998. He played 4 NBA seasons, also competed overseas in the CBA. After retiring, he focused on community service through his foundation and as an NBA Cares ambassador. His contributions earning recognition, including Outstanding Latino Service Award from President Obama and a feature in ESPN's The Dominican Dream. He is invoked the Dominican Republic in St. John's University Sports Halls of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Felipe Lopez.
What a special night. Yes. What a special night. Yes. I mean, I couldn't be any prouder. To be a basketball player right now. I mean, to be part of a family, a brotherhood that has so many gatherings, to have so many beautiful people, to have so many backgrounds, to have so many legends sitting in one place, it is amazing. And I just want all of us to give a round of applause, a huge applause to the organizers, to the community, to everyone that have put the hard work to make sure to put this event together, because this is something that we don't know when we're going to have in place this loyalty again. We don't know. We are living in such a mystery times that we don't know how we be able to enjoy this type of meetings the way we're having right now. And look, the people in the back, the people in the back, I know you're having a good time because you're having conversations with people that you haven't seen in a long time, and that is okay with me. Continue having a good time because that's what we're here for. So, I don't know for how long I'm supposed to be speaking, but I will speak for 45 minutes. Let me get ready. And DJ, put the music on cue because we're going to dance today. I'll really just, so, I'm a very spiritual guy. I'm a very spiritual because I was born in a household that the first thing we knew what to do was to pray. Whatever situation happened, let's pray. Let's put it in God's, let's put it in His perspective. And tonight, it's one of those situations where I've been praying so much to give me the understanding of the Word to say something to you folks. At the end of the day, we don't need it because just the fact that we see each other, it's truly God putting all of us together here tonight to celebrate such an amazing, beautiful night. And the night is not just for the NGOTs. I feel honored to be inducted into the Bronx Hall of Fame. But this night is for every single one of you that is here tonight, that is celebrating the life of yourself, somebody else, to all the mentors, to all the teachers, to all the coaches, to everyone that have put the little bit of grain or sand to make this basketball what it is today. And I so appreciate to see so many teachers, so many legends, so many people that have given me that opportunity to also give back to my community, because they told me how to do it. Because they showed me how to each one teach one. Because they told me how to go to a hospital, Mr. Carter, Hank Carter, he told me how to, because I'm healthy, but there's other folks in hospital that need the provision that all of us have, and then we sometimes take for granted. There's so many people that need that we need to be appreciated on every single day that we are on this earth. And that's what Hank Carter gave me. Hank Carter gave me through the wheelchair classic the appreciation to understand that I'm a basketball player, but I'm privileged. I'm privileged in everything that I've been given in my life to make somebody else better, to leave this world a better place for somebody else. So that's why we do the things we do in the celebrations that we are celebrating tonight. I want to give a huge shout out. So it gets to a point. It gets to a point where, to be inducted or to be celebrated to myself, it doesn't mean much because you're like, another celebration. For me, I take it as it is, as a privilege. Because tonight, I'm celebrating maybe my career, but to me, there's somebody else more important than I that I'm celebrating. And that person is the woman that gave birth to this individual right here. This is mi morena. This is mi amor. This is the one that gave me life. And for me to say here tonight, in front of you guys accepting this wonderful induction into the Bronx Hall of Fame, it's a message to her that all her prayers and all the things that she did for me and provided to me, I'm giving it back to her and whole different emotions. And I want her to really feel this night because it's not about me, it's about her. Le doy las gracias de mucho corazón por todas las oraciones que el Señor le ha respondido. Y el día de hoy, obviamente, es otra indicación de que el Señor está con nosotros, de que las oraciones que usted nos ha dado han sido cosas que son respondidas, y por eso es que el público que está aquí no solamente está celebrando la vida mía, sino el sacrificio que te hizo como madre, no solamente para mí, pero para toda su familia. ¿Entiendes? La quiero mucho. I love you, man. I love you, man. So I have my brother Anthony in the house, Lawanda in the house. My brother Anthony, he was one that introduced me to basketball, Anderson, Sayonara, my son, Felipe, Anuhea, Lena. Man, there's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. So tonight, as you can see, I don't go nowhere without the Dominican Republic. ¿Dónde está la República Dominicana? ¿Dónde está la República Dominicana? And just to tell you how much love you get from your people, Jose Vargas is a Hall of Famer. Played at MSU, Dominican Republic, Hall of Famer. He's now working for the Council of the Dominican Republic. We played together in the national team. That is my OG. That's my Dominican OG right over there. And I love that brother so much. Not for everything that he has done for me, because he always got my back. Another person, the reason we're out here is Eduardo Gomez. Eduardo belongs to the community. Eduardo has been so enthusiastic about Felipe. Felipe, baby, you have to come, you have to be here. I'm supposed to leave to the Dominican Republic, but I'm staying because I didn't want to let Eduardo down. And I thank you, Eduardo, because you also are a Bronx native. We went to the same IS 139 and 142nd and Brook Avenue. I love you for everything you have done for our country. Also a basketball player. And everything that you have made to us, I really appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me here tonight.
Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Ready? Yeah. You have just stepped out into the world